welcome to the Uncle Ken Show. You guys are speaking with Ken Power here today. I go by the name of Uncle Ken, and today I'm joined by Jack Blarrard.
Yeah. Play on Black Jared.
Ah, I see. Makes sense. Yeah, I'll get into that in a bit. We're also here with Ryan Pretorious, good mate of Jack's, I assume. That's why I brought him on the show.
Yeah. Hype, my man.
Yeah, my G.
He's right-hand man, pretty much.
Nice. Henchman?
Yeah.
All right. So, Jack, I wanted to have you on the show today for multiple reasons. A few things were just that the way I met you was quite interesting at the Troy Candy meet. I may not have been driving in my best self, but I definitely saw your car and I thought it was pretty cool. Asked you a few questions, found out you're an electrician by trade.
Yeah, Sparky.
Yep. Sparky, yep. And then we kind of just got into just the burnouts at the Troy Candy meet, and that was lots of fun. I just couldn't stop laughing at you guys. You guys were bloody hysterical, honestly. But just seeing that just made me feel like a kid again. So anything that you want to say or anything that you want to start the podcast off with?
I'm easy to just go with the flow, man.
Yeah, go with the flow, easy. That we can do. So, I mean, one of the first things I wanted to talk about was really something that will generate a bit of value to the viewers.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to be watching this probably through their Instagram, their social media. And Ryan, feel free to jump in there as well based off your own knowledge and experience or even your opinions. At the moment, you're verging near your 20K, right?
Yeah.
20K?
I'm on 19, yeah.
Yeah, you've been looking at it?
It's been 19 for ages, eh?
Yeah? Okay. How long has it been 19?
Oh, I don't know, months now, maybe like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm shadow banned, so it hasn't been climbing as much, and I've been a lot more quieter on the gram than I was in my previous days. My previous days I was posting stuff all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, something I noticed, I quite like your style, the way you use social media. It's almost like a vlog in a way.
Yeah.
I kind of tried adapting that to my own style as well, just like talking to the camera, like talking to my people, you know?
Yeah. But like, I work FIFO, like 2-in-1 roster, so like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to post red dirt every day. So sometimes that's part of the reason why I haven't been climbing as well. Cause like,
I see.
Yeah.
Like a solid content strategy, because sometimes you want heaps of variety. And
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, you got the algorithm, and it focuses on one thing. You know, if I just posted my lawn, it would grow because heaps of guys who are into the lawn just keep growing, keep like following stuff. But because I post like random stuff, like today I posted like a paper towel holder. It's like no one's looking for a paper towel holder to search bar, so like algorithm's not going to show that.
I sort of look deep into that when you're like, and I'm like, what's he
what does he mean?
And then I was like,
I just went to wash my hands and it looked like it was staring at me.
Oh, wow. Have you always been like a class clown or a joker, or what's the story behind that?
Yeah, I've always like just taken piss, never take things seriously. Like,
Yeah.
I always just see the funny side of things. Like, I've had like things go wrong in my life, but at the end of the day, I just look back and I'm like, well, that's a good story to tell everyone. That's funny. Like, I see the funny side of everything.
Yeah, always see the light side of things. I think that's really important, especially when sometimes shit hits a fan or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to swear in the show, especially not in this phase of it. We're going to have maybe a bit more of an 18 plus section a bit later where we crack open some beers. So if any parents are watching, we're here purely for the wisdom of your children or the kids on the social medias. Actually, you have to be 18 plus anyway to have social media, right? Something like that?
No.
16,
So, yeah,
12?
It's like 13 or something.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now we know. But
unless the parents like run their platform or something.
yeah, I do have a few of those guys, but it's also because I see a lot of benefit in working with a bit younger crowd and demographic as well. I feel like I'm in it for the long game, so that's kind of why I try to target towards the kids.
Yeah.
Not entirely the kids, basically all ages, but it's not something I'm going to discriminate against.
Yeah.
So I was just asking, basically, you're nearing your 20K. I reckon I've got a bunch of like kids in the media team. Like we could always discuss strategy and stuff, but you probably have your own networks and stuff when it comes to building.
I actually don't. Like,
no?
I always thought you see people blow up and stuff, but they always got like a team and they build each other up and stuff. But like, find it in like Perth and WA, like before, like before I'd get out my phone and film stuff and be like, "What are you doing? Put your phone away." But you go to like Gold Coast and stuff, and everyone's got the phone out. Everyone's filming stuff. Everyone's organising content. Like, oh, this would be a good idea. Everyone would just be filming everything. But in Perth, like, no one really does that that I know of. Like,
I haven't been much to the eastern states as well, so you'd have a better idea than me.
Yeah, it's a different ball game in terms of how they view social media and how they view it from a business perspective. Even with like OnlyFans and stuff, like like over there, it's huge. Like here in Perth, you see like OnlyFans and girls are just like they're judged and stuff. But over there, they're making big money and they help each
business,
other.
right?
Yeah, they look at it from a business point of view. You know,
How much do people make on those platforms?
a lot.
It's scalable.
I mean,
right?
there was this one girl I'm friends with, and she was like, yeah, like 30 grand in a month.
Wow.
But then she got bigger. Like this girl's out there making like 100 grand in a month.
Jesus.
I know.
And I mean, like, it may not be looked as favourable, but end of the day, it's a legitimate hustle. It's
That's
a
it, yeah.
legitimate business. Like,
Yeah.
you can judge all you want, but
Didn't you make OnlyFans at one point?
I think it's all.
Yeah, I made like $230 on it. Well, it was literally just photos of me with fans.
That's right. That's what I liked about it. It's literally like the pun. You actually made money off that as well.
Yeah, $230.
Solid.
People going on there like, oh yeah, I want to see Jared's penis. Like, it's just me with fans.
Jesus. Well, if we take it back to 20K, something I do is I've always wanted like people taking photos of the cars at my car meets.
Yeah.
So I just started building like a circle of people, photographers.
Yeah.
And I told them my intentions up front. I'm like, this is exactly what I want. I want people to take photos of my meets, videos.
Yeah.
And I want to see if I can like build that network or that circle. And then obviously I would find some way to deliver. I'll find some way to pay you. If I can't pay you, I'll find some other way to deliver value. And I've always been a bit of a cheapskate just because.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to, you don't want to spending heaps of money on something.
I don't believe money is the equal exchange. I believe it's one form of exchange. It can be in energy. It can be in all sorts of other ways.
Yeah.
Keep it PG. But if we're talking about something that I do is I understand that there's this concept called user-generated content.
Yeah.
So I basically get a bunch of photographers to do that stuff, created a group chat. And now they all just mingle with each other and I'm just kind of like peeking in there whenever I have an event. So maybe that's some food of thought for you.
It's good to have a team.
Maybe you just form a group chat with a bunch of influencers around a similar demographic, similar interest, even if they're not at your level or maybe they're higher. Might grow into something bigger.
Yeah.
Just put people together.
I don't know. I'm just so unique in the fact like I just find it hard to like find other people like I got my car friends.
Yeah.
But then I got like my party friends and I got like like
Your black friends.
I got my black friends. And then I got my FIFA friends. But like it's hard to find someone who wants like, all right, well, come with me, we'll go to this car cruise, because then like my friends won't be interested in the car cruise. But then I'm like, all right, well, come with me, we'll go to this other event or something. But then like my car friends aren't interested in like the event and stuff, so it's hard for me to find someone who's interested in like all those things and want to do all those things.
I agree. And especially in Perth, because it's not as big a market.
Yeah.
It's like there's not everything popping every night. Maybe on a weekend, and then everything's on the same day, and you're kind of like, have to pick one.
That's it. That's a big reason why I don't go to a lot of car things. Is it'll be like a Sunday morning, and I'll be hell tired.
Yeah.
Why are you tired?
I'm still awake.
Big night.
Red Bulls.
Red Bull vodkas. So I mean, yep, that's a 20K. I did ask how many views you get on your Instagram story, but you said you got shadow banned. Want to elaborate more on that, just to show people what to look forward, see if they ever get to that level?
So before I was getting maybe like 8,000, 10,000 views on my stories, but now it's like dropped down to between 4 and 6. And I'm pretty sure like I'm shadow banned, and it's just for like the most stupid of stuff. Like,
Do you ever get a report or something?
yeah, you get a report, and then you got to fight the report. Like my most recent one was a photo of that BMW with like Pink the singer on it.
Pink the singer.
Yeah, you know Pink.
Oh, yeah.
I hate Pink. I can't stand Pink.
Recently, wasn't it?
Bit of a Karen,
That
right?
was recently, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like I remember I went to Europe and I came back and like the best thing about being away in Europe for like a month was like not listening to Pink. I don't know why, but WA is obsessed with Pink.
Yep.
So like I wrote a comment like burn it with fire. And then I got like in trouble for it. I got like, your comment's been removed.
Jesus.
And then like I went to go fight it, and then like, how am I going to fight? Like, it was a joke. I wasn't actually going to set it on fire. Like, it's like I think like with the whole like meta and all that, like a lot of it's like an American company. Well, I think it's American, but they don't get like Aussie humor.
Yeah.
And a lot of Aussie humor is just talking rubbish, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I think there was another comment I wrote, and it was about like chop like with scissors. You know, when you race someone, you chop.
Yeah.
And then I got like that's violence. So like then all these like stack up.
Yeah.
And then you get shadow banned.
Yeah, you get a bunch of flags.
Yeah, and there was only one time I got done for like bullying once, and that's kind of fair because this guy owed me money. I bought I hate being owed money. Like, I bought because I got a VS Berliner sitting in the garage, and I was buying parts for it, and then I bought a lip spoiler. Some guy over in Melbourne, and then like I forgot about it. I paid for it. I forgot about it, and then like 2 weeks later, I was like, oh man, can you send that? Have you sent it? Yeah. He's like, oh sorry man. It's like, yeah, I've just been busy. Like I forgot about it. I'll do it now. And then like a few days later, like, oh, did you send it yet? He's like, oh man, I'm just going through stuff with the missus, blah blah blah. I was like, oh fair enough, man. I've been there. And then like later, I was like, bro, can you just send back the money or just send it? And he's just like, yeah, I'll send the money. And then nothing. And then I messaged him, and then nothing. And then like it was only like $250, but I was like in bed, man. I'll be in bed. I was just like, he's got my money, man. He's got my money. I need to get how much. Like, I can't sleep over it sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, screw it, man. I just went and put him up on my Instagram. I was like, man, who knows this guy? He owes me money, blah blah. I went and like found his like his Facebook. Then I went and looked on his like baby mama's Facebook. I went on like saw like a photo of a house, and then in the background I saw a street sign. So I'm on like Google Maps, Google Street View, like trying to track him down, man.
Yeah.
And then I was like, posted. He was wearing like a helmet, like a bike helmet, just looked like a dweeb. And I was just like, posted that, just taking the piss out of him. And then like I messaged him. I was like, bro, you think because I'm in Perth, you can, you can take my money? Like, if you don't like there was guys in Melbourne like, oh, if you find out where he is, like we'll go get your money. Yeah. And I was like, you think because I'm in Perth, like you can just take my money? Well, like if you don't pay me money, I'll send boys to the address that I found. And then he was all like thought he was smart. Like, oh yeah, go on, bring it. Like, I don't even live there anymore, or something. And then yeah. And then one of the lads on Instagram was like, oh yeah, and then sent me a photo of the house, and it's like, yeah, he lives here as well. So I just sent him a photo. I was just like, oh yeah, well, what about this address? And he straight away was like, I'll pay you Monday.
Oh dear. And then somehow that got banned by Facebook, obviously for harassment. He probably reported you.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Well, those types of things happen. I mean,
like I hate bullying. I don't bully people and stuff, but man, he deserved it. He owed me money.
Yeah, well, he didn't deliver.
That's not actually bullying, is it? It's
no. It's taking a stand for yourself, man.
Yeah, I think that's holding him accountable for it, right?
Yeah. Like, I'll never do that to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I would refund the money if I can't do it. I don't know that guy's situation, but yeah, it doesn't sound like he was on top of it, right? If you're going to be selling something, advertising it, making other people wait, not how I do business.
Like I was selling a car jack, I just a cheap one, and then I just didn't need it.
Yeah, selling yourself.
Sorry?
Selling yourself.
Yeah, selling it myself, just like, and then some guy came over and he was like a backpacker, and he was like Brazilian or something. I could hardly understand him. And he's like, "Oh, was it work?" I was like, yeah. And I went to go jack it up, and it just wasn't working. I was just like, I look like an idiot. So I was jacking it up, and then eventually it worked. And he went to go, like, if it was anyone else, I would have been like, oh no, I'll ask for a discount. But he was paying full price, and I was just like, nah, bro, just take half the money. Like, I didn't know that happened. I didn't want to screw you over, but in case that happens, like, yeah, just pay for half of it.
That is the thing about like selling stuff, because it's like opening up randos just to buy, and then they come to your address and it's kind of like just take it. Like, I don't want any other relationship with you. I've had some situations like that. Yourself?
Yeah, through Marketplace.
Yeah.
A few things. Yeah.
Any dodgy things or stories to tell?
I wouldn't say dodgy things, but you do get like a bit like you skeptic of like
just get some
actually want this person to come here. You know what I mean? So
People come to your house. It's your safe place. It's your sanctuary.
Oh
right?
yeah, and then you send them your address, and you never know. They see where you're staying.
Yeah. I was selling. Yeah, I sold some boots on there, some work boots, and this guy like. He was a friend on. I don't know who he is, but he was my friend on Facebook, and he's like, oh, straight away, he's like, yeah, I'll buy him. I'll come around like tomorrow morning, and I think it was like 7 a.m. I'll come around and get it. And then it was my day off, so and I just came back from work, so I wanted to sleep. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then like he just doesn't rock up. I'm like,
oh, flake.
Yeah. Like, why would you ask for my address and say you want to get it, and then not even say anything, not even say, oh sorry, bro, couldn't come around. So I just blocked him straight away. Like what? I don't see the point.
Time for that. Yeah.
I don't see the point in wasting people's time. Like, what are you going to get from it?
Yeah. When I'm looking for cars, I am just sending people messages like, "How much is this?" And then I never reply to them. So that's bad.
I don't think that's too bad. Like, but when you take it to a certain point and there's people waiting for you, or they take it off the market, and then that's like
Actually, about cars, I had someone come look. I sold my BMW not too long ago, and I had this lady come past with her daughter. And she was like, "Oh, so they came, had a look at it." And they're like, "Oh,
come a bit closer."
They were interested at the start, and then they obviously took it for a test drive. Like, oh, cool, gonna make a sale here, And then they came back later, and then she's like, "Oh, it's a bit stiff to drive," and I'm like, "Well, what car do you have before? And they're like, oh, it's a bit different to my Lancer. Like, and I'm like, you're literally wasting my time here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's like in sales, it's like an excuse, like objections. Yeah, it's sounds like she already wanted out.
yeah, they wanted out and they just tested drive. I was like, why'd you even bother coming if like it's not in the same ballpark? That
Or even if they tell you directly, look, I thought it was a cool car. It looked great in the photos, but in person, I changed my mind. Something about it's off.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to be like, maybe, what the hell? But
Yeah.
that's even better.
At the end of the day, you don't even have to give an excuse. You just go like, no, I don't want it. And then he's like,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
okay, yeah, cool.
Just be honest.
Yeah, I guess like if someone's like, why don't you want it? It's like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, buy it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that type of stuff. Yeah.
You buy now.
You buy it now. Yeah. We're just talking about the Ray-Ban Sunnies. I thought it would be funny to bring it up. These are pretty cool tools.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Yeah. You're going to hop on them?
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't even know that they were out. Jared just showed me before.
Yeah.
So,
They're good. Like, yeah, I got my chain on them because
Are they
Oh,
the ones-
nice.
No, I was jet skiing, so I was wearing them. I didn't want them to fall off in the water, but
yeah.
I haven't tried like uploading anything since taking it in the water. So hopefully I hasn't ruined them.
Are they the same ones you took when we went to Bali for New Year's?
No. Those
These
are like
came out
probably like
recently.
yeah. That was
really?
probably just like a $20 pair. I don't know.
Not fugazi then.
Yeah, something about these. Oh, Facebook should really unshadow ban us and give us privileges for actually selling their product on this. But I really like this product just because it looks like Sunnies. It's not too invasive.
Yeah, like,
Music, video.
I remember years ago when the Snapchat ones came out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and I wanted to
really
get
high
them,
class. So
but I think like I don't know if they were for sale properly.
$700, I think.
Were they?
$700, $900. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are like less than 500.
Yeah.
A little bit less.
Yeah, but they'll just be handy. Like I wish I had them when Troy came over because like you be in the car getting footage just like this and stuff. Like it's just so handy for like you know in kind of like an action atmosphere without wearing like a GoPro in your head or something.
I feel like that guy lives for the thrill as well, so he has a lot of stuff going on around him, which would be like awesome to film.
Yeah.
I think you're the same in some fashion. I don't know. I haven't seen you in your day to day. So, what does a day to day look like when you're back home versus LiFi?
When I'm back home, I'll write down lists of stuff I need to get done because I got ADHD.
Yep.
And I just write down lists.
Lists are good.
Yeah. And I just make sure I just do it.
Uh-huh.
And like before, I used to be really bad. Like I'll just like sleep in, and I go to bed late and sleep in. So my time schedule is pretty average. But now I set alarms and try to wake up and just be productive. Like I got 3 weeks off work, and you know in the past I would just waste them. I'll just get tired and stuff all the time, do nothing. But now I get up. I've started going to gym. I'm like a clean freak now. I never used to be clean. People always see me. People always see me like, man, his house is. I mean, I got a stripper pole in the house and stuff. But people must see him like, oh, this guy's house is like hectic and stuff. But like, I'm like a clean freak.
Yeah.
So I just clean the house all the time and catch up with mates and stuff. But yeah.
Or your post on the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I froth vacuum cleaning. I froth cleaning and stuff now. When I was younger,
Nice.
I was always unorganised, always a mess
Messy,
and stuff. But like, I'm just there, my vacuum cleaner, my steam mop, like domesticated as hell, man.
A level of hygiene.
Yeah. So I'm always like cleaning. I mean, I've got like tiny little DIY projects I want to do. I've got my lawn. I need to do like a lawn renovation.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, I froth my lawn and like.
Gonna plug your business.
What Harambe Lawn Care? No. I used to have a business called Harambe Lawn Care, but
Oh yeah. Would that ever be a legitimate enterprise, or is that just a gag? Oh.
it was legit, but at the same time, it was kind of a gag. Like
Okay.
I was like younger, and I lost my job for having I had to do a drug test, and I had Dexies, and the funny thing is now I'm prescribed to Dexies.
Yeah.
So then like I was like, oh, I need to make some money somehow. So I was like started this lawn music because I love mowing lawns.
Yep.
So some people like because it was like Harambe Lawn Care, and I was just making memes like mowing memes. So people probably thought I was taking the piss, but I was really like, I'll come mow your lawns for you. Like,
What actually happened when Harambe died? Did you feel anything, or were you just like, it's something?
I was devastated, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just shattered my whole universe, man.
Well, yeah, it is pretty deep, but I know some part of that is taking the piss.
no, yeah, it's taking the piss. It was just like it was just a meme, man.
Yeah, I love the meme culture.
Like the meme culture's crazy. Like the Queen died, and here we are making memes.
Oh dear,
and I'm loving it. I was like, man, like
the world is so messed up, right?
Like something bad happened, people start making memes. So I'm like, now I'm trying to think about like
Paul Walker.
yeah, like in the future, when like we all start like dying and stuff, we all start making memes about each other. Like we'll be like socially acceptable. Like
I guess it's like the way you started off. It's like taking the light-hearted side out of things in life. Everyone's so serious. Oh, you have to say this. You have to. Yeah. I don't prescribe to that. I think find the middle ground.
Yeah, that's it. Like what? Well, what's the point of being so sad about something that you can't change? You may as well see the funny side of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I had a little like business idea. It's like. Like for years, I've only been to 2 funerals, but like for years, like funerals always been the same. You just go there, it's all sad and morbid. Everyone wears black and stuff. And just like weddings recently, I reckon there's gonna be a generational shift. Like weddings back in the day, it's like you go to the church and like it's all like a bit small and stuff. But now everyone's like extravagant. Got DJs, got
bowling, spending.
Got like full production for it and stuff. Like hiring like dancers and all that stuff. But like, I reckon when our parents start passing away and stuff, there's going to be a generational shift in funerals where like people want to be like, they don't want to be in a Fairlane bloody coffin like a hearse. They want a G-Wagon hearse and stuff like that. They're going to want to start like having like Harleys and all stuff at a wedding. Like there's going to be like, you're going to have like I don't want some priest, man. I don't even go to church. I don't want some priest like they're like, saying prayers and stuff like that. I want like a screen, just showing all the memes and the stupid stuff I've done over the time. Like, honestly. Like why is it gotta be sad and stuff, you know? So like, if I had like, if I won lotto and stuff, I was like, I'm gonna do Harambe funeral homes.
Oh man, that's actually really deep, actually, in a way. Actually, some part of that I could kind of relate. I feel like. Sometimes legacy, the whole idea of things like that.
That's people worry about the legacies. Like, that's why I want to have kids and just have a have a legacy with them and pass it on to them.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the next step.
Probably not going to happen anytime soon. But
so, okay, what's the wedding going to look like then?
You come close to having kids though.
Oh, if you're going to have a wedding.
Wedding? I don't know, man. I want to get married in Santorini. Yeah, I love Santorini in Greece.
Greece. Oh yeah, you went to Europe.
Yeah,
right?
it's like my favourite place in the world.
Nice.
Like before when I was growing up, I was like, I want a big wedding, like all these people and stuff. But then you got to pay for all them and stuff like that. And like, I just want a little small wedding in Santorini. It's like the most beautiful place I've ever been to.
Yeah, I worked with a Kiwi couple and they just bought a plastic ring because they abolished the whole idea of materialism.
Yeah,
bowling out.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
yeah, I respect that. Hey?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, and it's good if you find a partner who's like the same level. Like that means something. You want to, make your fiance, wife feel special, get something real good. Yeah. But then, like, imagine if like you had a fiance who's like, no, don't do that. Like, we'll do this instead. We'll use that money to do something better for our future instead or something.
I agree. Ryan, did you want to run into maybe your day-to-day activities or what a day in the life looks like to you?
It's not that exciting to Jared's, but
that's okay.
Yeah, just normal day-to-day, just obviously working hard and paying bills. Obviously.
You clean your room?
Yeah. I'm a bit of a clean freak as well.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a clean
Who's
house.
better? Is it a competition?
I'd say Jared more.
Oh, yeah? Oh, nice. Okay.
I get a little bit lazy here and there. So, but yeah, it's, you always got to have a clean environment, especially when you have people come over and stuff. It's a bit disgusting when your place is upside down and
yeah, agree.
Saying that, it's like sometimes, like it sounds like my life's a bit chill, but sometimes it can be hectic.
Yeah. I think my parents, my mum's always like, whenever you fold a towel or whenever, because she's Asian, right? So she has usually meaning behind a lot of things she does in the house. And she says like when you have a towel or when you have like the bed sheets and they're all messy, sometimes it creases and all that stuff, that contributes to stress.
Yeah.
So that's like looking at the mess. Like if it's straight flat, you're kind of like, peace.
Yeah, calm.
Yeah, that type of stuff.
Well, I read this thing is like I don't always make my bed, but like
it's okay.
Yeah, that's right. But like I read this thing is like you wake up and if you make your bed first thing start of the day,
it's a positive.
Then it starts a chain of so like once you make your bed, you're like, all right, well, what else can I make?
Yeah.
So it's like if you just lie in bed and you're on your phone and you'll be on your phone for ages and then you're just like, get out of bed and then have some breakfast. But like, if you make your bed. Then you're like, all right. And then something in your head makes you want to do something else. Like, all right, well, I'm going to start cleaning my room. And then after that, you're like, all right, well, I'm going to start doing this. Like, it's like a chain reaction.
Habits.
Yeah. What's that book? Atomic Habits. That's where I got that from.
I want to read it, actually.
Yeah, it's
Have
good.
you read it?
I got the audiobook.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I do that too, hey. When I don't have time or when I don't feel like reading.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get engrossed in like one book, but only if it's like so meaningful to me or someone's recommended it. But
yeah.
I don't really make too much time for books.
Yeah,
Audio is good. We're talking about the Sunnies, but I I think some part of it was also along the lines of like this whole idea of influencer, which is not something I'd ever want like associated with me, but I'd like the idea. I like the idea of
I get what you
being
mean,
able to impact people.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like leadership to some extent in the modern day.
Yeah.
Because you never used to have that, I feel, not in the same format. How would you say, like, any tips on building influence or anything for the viewers or myself personally?
Personally, like, I just feel like just like a normal guy, man. I don't think I'm special. I feel like I'm on a podcast, but like I don't run a successful business or nothing. I'm just me. Like,
it depends how you define success. I look up to you in some aspects from a success method, and it depends how you define success. Some people look at it materialism.
Yeah.
Some people, So I was just talking about influencer. I mean, like, if you were to look at maybe your growth over like a certain time period, just making sure the camera's aligned. Yep. If we're talking about it over a certain time period, would you say, was there any specific moment that you boomed, or has it always just been cycling up? Or
it's just been a bit of a gradual thing. Like, I think like the first moments I started having a little bit of a boom was like Brown Cardigan.
Oh yeah,
Brown Cardigan. Yeah.
What's Brown Cardigan?
I would say I reckon it's like the biggest Australian meme page. Like it's just quintessentially Australian. Like before, you used to have just your standard memes and stuff, but then like more Australian relatable memes, and now just post like videos of like someone take a video of some guy at a pub going off or something, and it's just funny. Like Brown Cardigan's always posting it.
Yeah, Brown Cardigan. I got to look that up actually.
Yeah.
So you started living in this space and I guess contributing to it, and then
I just
1.1 million.
Wow.
1 million, yeah. So I just started like the whole meme stuff started coming out, and I remember back in the day it was when like
sorry, I just typed in Brown Cardigan and it came with a bunch of brown cardigans. Sorry, go on.
I think there was like beige cardigan in America, like copied brown cardigan actually, and that's a big page. But anyway, like I started like just post just little skits, man. Like, I would post like TikToks before like TikToks was a thing, just like little videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then memes started popping in.
I can't find it. I'll find it later.
Yeah, the memes started popping in. I think he's shadow banned, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The page is probably blocked.
Yeah. But man, I post. It's kind of vulgar.
Yeah.
I posted a photo. It was Valentine's Day.
Oh dear.
I posted a photo of my hand.
Yeah.
With some jizz on it. I was like, because everyone does that. Everyone's like, oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day to my one and only. So I was like, I'm gonna turn it up a notch. Just jizz my hand. I was like, happy Valentine's to one and only. And Brown Cardigan shared it.
How'd that go?
It went.
Yep.
And then like after a while, like I'll post certain memes and stuff, and then he'll reshare it or something, and then it'll just blow up, and I'll get more followers and stuff. Like,
it's a Facebook page, is he?
No, Instagram page.
Oh, Instagram page. Sorry, I was looking on Facebook.
Oh, in my place of Brown Cardigan.
Yeah. That's
on Instagram. Yeah. Like I've had I've had people from like Australian bands and stuff like follow me. Like,
nice.
I think I have like some sports stars and stuff on me, and that's mainly from my Brown Cardigan.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is like, whenever I'm with Troy, like, shit blows up.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
if I'll go to Gold Coast for the weekend, and he'll be sharing my stuff, and then just get more followers and stuff from that.
Yeah.
But like,
what's your relationship to Troy? How'd you meet him, or old school mates?
Just on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I would say this is like before he blew up and stuff, and I saw his profile pop up, and he had like he had a GDO, and I have a GDO. I was like, oh, that's sick. So I just got to mute this. I was like, that's sick. Like, this guy's got a GDO. He's doing skits. He's doing all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't follow me back, so it's kind of cut. but then later he posted something and I commented on it, and he followed me back.
Yep.
And then he's like, we just went back and forth, just like memes and stuff, laughing and stuff like that. And then he came to Perth, and I was like, I'll see you when you come to Perth.
Yep. And
then I had to go flight for work.
Oh, I see.
I know. So I kind of dogged him that way. It wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think back in, so this was 2014 maybe. Mm-hmm. And then in 2015, it was his birthday, his 26th birthday, and he hired a houseboat in Echuca, and he invited me and my ex, one of my exes, and that was like the first time we met up. But like I went down to the ECM shop, and actually no, that wasn't the first time we met up. Oh, the first time we met up was in July. That was in December. The first time we met up was in July. We went in there, but I just remember going to the ECM shop, and it was just like, you know, you get some people, you get some like people you're friends with and stuff, and you meet them, and you're just like, oh yeah, man, like, it's just like kind of awkward. But like me and him was just like we just hit it off like that.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, something I was looking at. I was just going through some of your old highlights or something like that, and I remember you said 2013, 2014. It's quite a while ago, right?
Yeah, I think that's when we first started talking. Yeah,
that's like 9 years ago. So Instagram, like,
it
was popping, but
it's
even popping more now, right?
Yeah. This is before like influencers were a thing, or you know, marketing on Facebook and stuff. It was just about posting whatever.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I saw some pretty wild videos. I don't know if it was kids or something like that. Was that happening around that time, or was he?
I can't remember. I can't remember those kids. I just remember when he had his white GDO. It was white at the time and had a Calais rear end, like the lights were like the Calais rear end. So yeah, it must have been around 13, 14. But yeah, 15 when I met him in person. And
so GTO's had the Calais.
No. He's had the Calais, like the full, like, because you got the GDOs. He's got the two lights. Okay. I think he's had the Calais middle bezel as well. Like, so the lights were like Calais rear end that he installed. So that's just how I remember it. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I remember posted it on my Instagram, and it was like that, and it was like, because I just built a house back then. Yeah. And it was that, and then something else house related. I was like, goals. And then I ended up meeting him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd like to talk more about that specific car. I was doing a bit of research on it. I've always seen them, and I understand that they came out in maybe like a supercharged V6 and then a V8.
The Monaros did.
Monaros.
Yeah. There was a CV6, which was supercharged, and then the CV8s, which were V8s. Yeah.
Something I noticed is that a few Monaros look a bit like your classic old school Commodore, but there's some which have like that Sharky type grille like yours.
Yeah, so mine's a HSV version.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, so you got the Monaros, which is a bit more subtle, and then you got the HSV GTO, and then you got the Top Dog HSV GDS.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the GDSs came out with the 300 kilowatt Callaway engine, and
Monaros, or I don't know too much about Australian cars.
Yeah. So the HSV GDS. So I think that probably was like the most expensive car at the time, or HSV at the time.
Yep. Oh, interesting. So the Monaros, just to go clear on that, how many specs are there? There's two, or is there a HSV Monaro as well?
No. So Monaros is Holden. Okay. So you got the old Monaros, like from back in like
the old muscle cars.
Yeah. Get them, and then I think it was like 2002 or something when they started bringing out Monaros again. Yep. And then they brought out the HSV versions, and they finished up in 2006.
Oh, are you saying they brought up HSV Monaros?
No, so HSV. Yeah. So you got your SS, Holden SS, but then you got your HSV Club Sports, Senators and stuff like that. Yep. So the HSV is like the sport version, like let's say like the Nismo version. Yeah. Of an S15 or something like that. Like, so you got the Holden Monaro. Then you got HSV, GDO, and GDS. And then they also came out with the Coupe 4, which was like four-wheel drive.
Oh, okay. So Monaros were never in the HSV range?
No. It's just the base. It's just like the base of HSV. Like there's always a base car, and then HSV does what they do on top of that.
Okay. And then I've seen that there's like a Vauxhall, like a European version.
Yep. So they exported them over to Europe, and there's a Vauxhall. Can't remember what it's called. Maybe like a VXR or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I think there's a Pontiac version of it as well.
There's Pontiac. So GM sent out Monaro shells over to America and then reincarnated a Pontiac GDO.
Same engine configuration? I don't know.
Pretty sure they had LS1s in them.
Okay.
They probably ended up having LS2s and whatnot. But like I think their specs, like they didn't have as many restrictions as they do over here. So I think they had a little bit more power.
Nice. And the front bumpers, the one you have, did that come factory or is that something?
That's factory HSV, yeah. Everything on it except for the bonnet, because I got the reverse cowl, that's added, but all the bumpers, side skirts and all that's all factory.
Can't quite pinpoint what might be happening. If it happens again, I'll Google it, but just roll with it. Battery, not memory.
Is it not
settings?
overheating or something?
That's possible. That's a good point.
QRQC.
I'm not just good looks, man.
All right, we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
Far out. Hopefully the camera doesn't do it. I'll try cut this out. Otherwise, we'll just roll with it and make it look smoothly.
Yeah.
If it keeps on happening, I can always revert to a laptop. It's an ugly camera though, but it works. At least it won't cut out like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that at all.
Nah, last resort.
Yeah. So, we've covered quite a few topics. I think one of the things, and we're still on the social media side of things, but we'll get to the other stuff soon. We're running 38 in. We've got 2 hours for this.
Yeah, we've got plenty of time.
We've got plenty of time. So, I think... Yeah, that's it. Please bring the mic closer to your face as well, because I want to be able to hear your voice and I want to get you in it as well, because you're just so important.
Sometimes you're talking, it's like this.
No, that's cool. So, one of the things I wanted to cover was kind of like your format and your style, and something that I've noticed is it ties very much into relatable content with like the typical Australian, right? Brown cardigan, maybe even.
Yeah. Like you see all these people like, buying followers and stuff like that, and like, I wouldn't want to buy followers from like another country. They don't want to get my humour. Like, like I like to post stuff that's relatable to my life. Or if I see a meme that I think is funny, and I'll just edit it or something and then put my life into it.
Yep.
So this is my life.
This is my life. Oh, mate, I want to get into that in a second. We can. But when it comes to relatable content, I think something that you're doing is you probably have similar problems to the typical demographic of Australian maybe men or people in your situation. Especially in like the FIFO, clocking in, funny stuff like that. So some of the stuff I noticed was like a bit of Bali memes, tradie humor, a little bit of that, and kind of a bit of a bogan culture, and like kind of taking piss out of that as well. So I thought that was pretty funny. Would you have anything to say about that, or is there like a way of thinking, or do you just does that just come like when you think of something, you're like, oh, I think a bunch of people would find that funny. It sucks hearing about it that way because it's like super analytical, but yeah.
Like back in the day when I used to have like Instagram stuff, I was like, I just want to get Instagram just for like girls and stuff, you know, like just tune girls on Instagram.
Yeah, tuned.
And then
standard.
And then it got to the point where I was like, I'd have guys hit me up and like, oh yeah, so relatable, stuff like that. Like guys, I've had guys like hit me up and tell me like, man, some of your humors and stuff like saved my life. So like, I go in. So when I do post certain things, I try to like post things they can relate to, and you know, I give out like things I do to make my life better. I just try to make their lives better. Like you think about like you got your Instagram influencers and stuff, and like, I don't want to be like that person. I'm like, I don't want to be like, hey guys, today we're like, I hate all that fake stuff. So I'm just like, I remember one time I was just telling people like, man, like I was over in Europe and I had a car loan, like I was paying like $700 a fortnight for this Beamer, for this X5.
Yep.
And it was sick. I loved it. But like, I'm just there. I'm like, I just remember I was in Santorini. I'm just standing on this rock and like needed water. I was like, what am I doing, man? Spending $700 for what, man?
Yep.
Like I got a GTO, but the reason I got an X5 is because the GTO got its sticker. And I was like, oh, I need something to roll in. So I bought this X5. But like, what's the point? So then I jumped on Instagram. I was like, guys, like, don't just go get out loans if you can't afford them. Like, just remove everything from your life that's just causing you stress, man. And that was causing me stress. Like, people go on Instagram and like flex all this stuff that I have and stuff, but they're getting loans for it and stuff. Like, I just don't see the point in that.
The added pressure of that is really worth it, eh?
Yeah. Like, if that's what makes you happy, then like you got to reassess, man. Like, you just put yourself in like, you know, financial stress and stress you don't need. So I'll just try to post something relatable, so something like to make their lives easier and stuff like that, or so people be like, people might see me like, oh, Jared's got like good life, but like they can see like I go through struggles as well. Like, what's the point of like, you know, trying to pretend everything's fine and stuff and be fake when there's people out there who can relate. They can see that I'm going through stuff and you're like, all right, you know what, maybe it's not so bad what I'm doing. I can just overcome this, you know.
Yeah, I think one of the blokes mentioned something about what's it called? Relationship advice, so we'll definitely get onto that in a second, maybe in the 18 plus section.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's not really 18 plus, so why don't we just crack open the beers, eh?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Let's get to it. So I got the Coronas, 4. Actually, no, I got 2 Coronas, And I got this beer, which I'd love you guys to try it out if you want. Just have a look at it.
Rakachangi.
And the funny thing is, this beer kind of inspired me to make this brand.
So this is yours?
No. This isn't me. I wish.
Uncle Kenny's.
Yeah. So this beer is Wakachangi New Zealand beer. And I've got a bunch of other influences behind the name of my brand.
I love how he's just got a spatula.
Yeah,
he's got a spatula. Cool. He's just like, what?
Yeah. Do you want to try it, mate? You can knock on it if you want. Yeah. Oh, dear. I didn't bring a bottle cap.
Oh, there we go.
You can do that.
Mate. I should have worn Jerry's world spoon.
Wait, is the video recording? Just as he did that. Mate, this video is cursed. What do you reckon we do? All right, so we got this on camera.
Yeah.
Do you want to help open it for us?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I don't want to send you to hospital.
Use them nigger teeth.
You got it? All right, cool. Yeah, the camera's been having issues, but...
I should have worn Jerry's world spoon home.
Just popping the beer tops of tea.
Cheers.
It's amazing. All right. Oh, hope you guys enjoy the beer. If you need to pass it over, let me know.
That's tasty.
Yeah, it's
not
not
bad.
bad.
I'm actually a lightweight. Hey, I can have 2 of these and I'll be like,
Yeah. All right, cool. I mean, I can keep following the script, but the way we're kind of doing it is going back to script, kind of going off script, and that it's good actually having a bit of a harmony and a nice balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could go into a lot of these topics, but end of the day, I think after we cracked out the beers, it kind of gets a bit more deep. Could get real deep.
I like deep.
You like deep?
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, and something that you mentioned was you can talk about dumb shit and tell silly stories, but you love deep, intelligent conversations about life. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not like scientific deep. Yeah.
Okay, just like...
just you know, just...
Electric cars.
Oh, no, we'll get into that later.
I mean, how do you think the world works?
Wait, hold on. Is the world flat?
No, it's round.
Round?
It's round. The Greeks knew it was round because they conquered all this area and stuff, and they saw they had this big thing in the air, and it cast a shadow this way. But then there's other places of the world it casts a shadow a different way, so they could tell. Because if the world was flat, they all have the same shadows. Right? There's a bit of intelligence out there.
Yeah, that's one thought.
No, but I've been listening to a lot of Andrew Tate lately.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh dear. All right.
Well, he's banned at the moment.
Yeah, he's banned. I don't agree with everything he says.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you got people, you're like, I hate Andrew Tate. You're like, why? Like, I don't know. Because you only see 30-second snippets of these things. And he says a lot of things to evoke people's emotions.
Yeah.
That's how he became as big, because he was saying these wild things. And he talks about escaping the Matrix.
Yeah.
And like, I've never been a conspiracy theorist. Because like it's like, well, I've got other things I want to worry about. But like, he talks about how, you know, like the world is run just to keep you down.
Yeah.
It's a rat race.
It's a rat race.
100%. Yeah.
And like one thing he was talking about like how they put in these laws and these measures in place, and they say it's for our safety. So, you know, like with electric cars, they're bringing them out, you know, saving money and fuel. It's good for the environment. We're doing it for the environment. But there's going to come to a point where everyone's got electric cars, and let's say you're wanted by the police or the government and stuff, they can just track you down because your car's electric. Or if you're in a chase zone, just press a button, bang, your car stops. They don't want people to have... I'm not trying to start some weird conspiracy theory, but like this is how I think. This is what I think. Like if your car's running on fuel, how are they going to stop you, really? Unless, like, you know, you're not, like, yeah, they can catch you and stuff, but like in the sense of like your traditional cars and stuff, they all had like VIN numbers and stuff, but cars these days just have like a code.
Yeah.
And they can use that code to, like, you know, track you and all that.
Yeah. And people can go and modify that. I mean, the government doesn't have the best security systems. We've seen that already. So what's to say it's not even the government trying to take us down if we're driving these cars?
End of the day, yeah, we've got governments. I personally think governments are just like the front for like people with big money and big corporations. Like even like, you know, like mining has such a big like stronghold in WA.
Yeah.
And I believe WA was locked down hardest than everyone else because the mine I reckon like the mine corporations probably have money into like, you know, vaccines and all that stuff. So they want to push the narrative.
Yeah.
That's like my view on it. But like, to me personally,
the whole of Australia pretty much shuts down when we had COVID.
But WA but the lockdown, WA lockdown was, I think that came first, hey? No, like you had Melbourne and Sydney, and that was messed up. But
we were last.
We were last.
We were last. But then when we shut down, it was like, because the mining industry fund everything.
Yeah. We didn't have the lockdowns like Melbourne and Sydney and stuff. That's hectic. Like, I don't know how people do that. People like, that's crazy. Like, you know, not being able to leave your house stuff. Like, we were allowed to leave a house and stuff, but we were locked out from, you know, international and all that.
Maybe you had a lockdown party, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a lockdown party once.
Yeah, that stuff really rubbed me off the wrong way. I didn't want a vaccine at all.
No.
I just got it because I wanted to travel.
Yeah.
And another part is just work, a little bit of pressure there. It's just, it puts pressure on everyone when you start objecting to it.
Yeah, with
your family.
With my job, I needed to have a vaccine.
Yeah.
So
true.
That's why I got it. But tell you what, like my second jab I felt worse than when I actually when I got COVID.
Yeah, but like you don't even need the vaccine now. You don't need the jab. It's for work. I don't know.
No, you do.
Still for the mines and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But also like,
but not to travel. Some places you don't need.
Not all places.
So it was like
a lot of places in Asia are off, like Thailand. But I think some places in Malaysia, you need a vaccine.
Do you need it for Bali as well?
Ooh, that's one for Google.
Because there's a lot of people attending Bali at the moment.
I thought Jack would know.
I don't know. I have no idea. But like, I feel like like with that, like they're just slowly trying to take away freedom.
Yeah.
And there's the whole like slavery thing. Like back in the day, like, you know, my ancestors and stuff, there was slavery. Like, you do all the work and stuff, and put a house and.
What is your background? Sorry, I haven't asked.
My mum's Anglo-Indian.
Yep.
And my dad's Black American.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice mix, actually.
Yeah, a bit of a mongrel. I was born here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, like back then, you get slave and you don't get paid money and stuff, but they put a food on your plate and they give you like, you know, shelter. And then slavery finished and stuff, but the new form of slavery is money. Like, oh, well, you can work, but like, we'll give you money so you can pay for food and shelter. It's just...
Even hearing about what they did to the Aboriginals in this country, it's pretty messed up. Like, they took them away from their parents.
It's messed up how Aboriginals were seen as flora and fauna.
That is weird, isn't it?
And it wasn't even that long ago. Like, they weren't seen as humans, they're seen as flora and fauna.
That is like anger, right?
Like, it's just crazy how it's just still so fresh.
Yeah. I had a friend explain to me that what they also did was when the shops came out, because they didn't have a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
They made alcohol cheaper than water. The second you make alcohol cheaper than water, firstly it forms dependence. Like you look at them all around like the city, like it's an endless cycle because not only have they destroyed the whole culture and heritage, but they've got them hooked off this thing, which they're then now profiting off.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
It's screwed up how like people profit from, you know, these problems. They introduce problems to profit off.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's part of the game, isn't it? Just the whole capitalist ideas
everything.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
it's like going back. It's like you're putting a rat race.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever read like Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Talks about.
I started to read it.
It's a good book.
But
essentially the concepts just divide you. You're an employee, business owner, sole trader, or investor. Employee, you work for time, money. As an investor, money works for you or something like that. And as a business owner, you can have employees which multiply your time, which means, say, someone like Troy, for example, like you could have a bunch of employees doing his work, multiplying his time. He just tells the task to be done. Obviously, if he's listening to this, I don't think business is that easy. But things like that, I strongly believe that the people in lower socioeconomic positions in life, they're stuck there. And they have to climb the next ladder, the next echelon in order to actually even breathe, to live above there, if they can even make it, because all of these things like cigarettes, drugs, black market, all these things are like designed to keep them in those circles, so they operate at those lower realms of consciousness, whereas all the people capitalizing are living their great lives. It's, well, we're always like somewhere there,
Yeah.
and there's people below us and above us. So
There's always the saying like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
100%.
And the thing is like the rich people, they have money, but they know how to spend their money. And the poor people, they just don't have the knowledge. Like they don't have the knowledge of. Well, there's a lot of people, like not even poor people. There's a lot of people out there who make money, but they just don't have the knowledge of what to do with it. And like myself included, like I only just started getting. Like I've been with my job working away and stuff. I've always been making good money, but it was only like till a few years ago where I realised like I had all these. I've been working away, been making all this good money, but I have so many overheads, like car loans, other loans and stuff. And then I just started to just work my way to just get rid of those loans, and you just feel so much better because like before I was like I have to constantly be working because I got to pay for these things.
Man, debt is scary.
Debt is bad, and
how do you view it?
100%.
Yeah.
Sorry?
How do you view it now? Just after all those car loans that you mentioned, like the
Like I drive
750 in Santorini.
I drive a fucking Hyundai Accent, 2003 Hyundai Accent as my daily.
Yep.
Remember.
Of course I got the GDO, but I just drive a Hyundai Accent as a daily. Like I don't. Yeah, I want another nicer daily.
Yep.
But I don't want to get a loan that's just going to put me into more stress and stuff, and then just end up unhappy. Yeah, I got a car, but I don't drive for two weeks of the of the month because I'm away for work anyway. But I'm paying like a stupid loan on it.
Something that Rich Dad Poor Dad book talks about is how the next phase of that evolution is either you get a really high income job, and you lower your overheads, and then you're somehow able to save it, maybe invest it. But the other pathway is like a business owner.
Yeah,
Multiply your time. It's
like I'm starting a new job this month. And I'm only contracted to work 182 days of the year, so that's like half the year.
Oh wow! Okay.
So
That's really good, actually.
yeah, and that's just one contracted to. I might not even work that many days, but like I want to find something so that I can like a side hustle like that, like something like I'm good at, something I enjoy that will make me want to like have like spend my time off actually doing something. I don't want to come home and just do nothing.
Yep.
I was even thinking about just doing courses and stuff just to better myself. That's at the end of the day, I just want to keep bettering myself. Like
Increasing your skill set.
My view of things today is just want to be like the best man in the room. Like doesn't mean you are going to be the best man in the room, but just having that feeling like you want to be the best man in the room. Like you could be in the room with some dude and he's like a millionaire, but that doesn't mean he's like the best man. He could have like robbed people, like screwed people over to get that $1 million. Like
unhealthy,
Yeah, exactly. Or like you could be at a car, you could be at a car meet.
Presents bad energy.
Yeah, bad energy. Yeah.
Like you could be at a car meet, and then like you have your car, and then some guy rocks up in a supercar.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah. Or he's like you sacrifice your health for that. That's a big thing for me.
Well, not even sacrificing your health. You like oh yeah, I have a supercar. You think you're better than everyone. Like just to be like the best person. So you give me out good vibes and looking after yourself as well. Like I've always been like pretty skinny and stuff, and like to be a better person for myself. I've been going to the gym and try get a bit of muscle.
That's the way, right?
Yeah.
Become hinged.
Come on, jacked Blared.
That's good. Actually, I saw something. I used to have the old Instagram handle, Jack Blared Instagram from Hell.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
So I remember when Instagram came out,
Yep.
and I hated it. And I was like, oh wow, people just posting photos of the coffee with a filter on. Like, that's just stupid.
Yep.
And then I ended up getting it because everyone's getting stuff.
That's how Instagram started, isn't it?
What?
It was about like just taking photos of food and stuff.
Yeah.
Just basic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's another
literally.
thing you mentioned. Yeah.
That
And
literally
then-
was.
And then like, I remember back in the day on Facebook, I used to always like troll people and stuff. Like, excuse me, I used to always troll people and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get Instagram, just like post like troll stuff or just upset people and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and I called it Instagram from Hell because I was like, from Hell, I'm just gonna post stuff to make people upset and stuff like that. And I got the name from Hell from like YouTube. I'm pretty sure it was Super from Hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just love that name. I just love just being like
It's just
being,
so extreme.
yeah,
That's what I like
yeah.
about it.
I just loved being a shithead and like I actually I got my Instagram deleted.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first profile deleted
Oh dear.
because we used to be every Friday we would just post like these memes like they were vulgar memes like tools down, it's Friday, and like a photo of a guy with a drill in his ass.
Oh dear.
like this is before Instagram was heavily regulated. Like nowadays you'll be screwed, or like nowadays you'll be offending someone, or be like tools down, let's get shit faced.
That's why you got to be scared when you link it to your Facebook profile, just because they take down your Instagram, your Facebook's directly linked. So,
yeah.
They have a lot of power. I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. It's just just getting ran by something like the rat race.
Control.
Like you take away people's platforms and like what do they got?
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about the whole Andrew Tate debacle. Obviously, I'm probably not someone who would share. Well, I don't know, similar values, but I wouldn't come across that way but I really respect his marketing. But one thing I noticed was that the people that react to him, that's exactly what he wants.
That's it.
And that makes him grow. So why do people feed that? Even the whole idea of like sharing across their friend groups and saying, hey, you shouldn't listen to this guy. Firstly, like people have a conscience. They understand like what shit talk is. Right?
Yeah.
Like I've always been a firm believer that people talk, people say bad things. It's just whether or not you speak their name into existence.
That's it.
That's what they want.
But the thing that annoys me about the whole Andrew Tate thing is if you sit down and you watch, he did a 5-hour podcast. If you sit down and you watch the whole podcast and he explains it, and then you're like, it makes sense. Like it means truth. But people are like, oh, he beats women. But the video that he posted of him slapping a girl with a belt, like you can tell it's consensual, just some kinky foreplay, some kinky thing, And then like, oh, he's got was it people trafficking charges and stuff, and he's explained it like everything that people can like accuse him of, he explains, but they don't post that on a little TikTok snippets. They only post like the extreme stuff like that. Like his one of his examples, he's like, I use people's emotions. I get their emotions out of them when arguing. Like,
I think he's very emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, he's very intelligent, and he's like, so I'll be in an argument with someone, and genetically men are stronger. But instead of saying men are stronger, I'll just say women are weak. Just so they get in, like they try to argue with him. But then like
they lose their emotions.
Yeah, they lose their emotions.
Incoherent.
But like, you gotta have some kind of intelligence to see things for what they are. People just see like, oh yeah, this, and they get all emotional and stuff. But it's like with racism. If someone starts being racist to me, like if I'm in an argument and someone starts being racist, I know I've won straight away. They've got nothing else to say.
They're weak.
Yeah, they're weak. They've got nothing else to say, so they'll just, oh yeah, well, you're black. Oh, good one. Like,
Next girlfriend of mine mentioned to me when I was just having some spack at like this dude who just like called me out for parking in a postal bay.
Oh, I love doing it. I park everywhere. When I'm in GDO, I park everywhere.
I don't mind because that's the rules again. It ties into the government saying you should park here because of this. Obviously, if it's an empty car park, I'm going to triple park the disabled bay, curb ride. I'm going to do whatever I want.
Especially if it's a Sunday. Like no postal person coming on a Sunday. But like
if it's quiet, like who cares?
Yeah. I remember like when Carousel back in the day, he used to always park right like in front of the cinemas, man. Like you walk out and my car be right there. Like it wasn't even a car spot. I just would park there, but I wouldn't park the Hyundai there. That's just embarrassing me. I park that roundabout in the back, but like full park NWA there. Like, I just love it, man.
Something that she said was, I just started making personal slurs. I was just like, I just said something about his teeth, and then she just schooled me, and she was like, if you're gonna start making personal insults based on their appearance, you've already dropped the line. And I was like,
100%.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, that was 100%. Pretty low.
He's one thing that's stuck for me, stuck with me for a while. I remember I saw something on Instagram, and I posted like, "Oh, that shit's hell gay." And then later, this guy messaged me. He's like, "Can you not use the word gay?" Like, growing up, like in a negative way. Like growing up, he was confused and stuff like that. And then people calling things gay in a negative way, like confuses him, made him feel, ashamed, made him feel bad. And like back then, I was just like, this is before like the whole woke.
School,
this is before like woke culture stuff. Like, oh yeah, that's gay.
Cancel.
And then back then, I was just like, I'm gonna flame this pansy. I'm just gonna get it. But then I sat down and thought, I was like, you know what, like. He's come up to me. He's had the balls to say something, and he's saying how it feels and what it feels makes sense. Like, so now I just don't go around like, well, not many people do it, but I don't go around saying, "Oh, that's gay" and stuff in a negative way, because you got to think about how it makes other people feel. So stuff like that, like I've learnt from that, and that's kind of stuff I'd like to, like tell like younger people and stuff, like
Yeah.
you got to think of more than just yourself.
One of the boys said, how do you know when to end a relationship? Relationship advice. He commented on my story for the questions.
Oh man,
Very, very broad statement, but how do you know when to end it?
I've been through 8 relationships.
Uh-huh.
Some one girl I had a house with.
Long term?
Yeah, 4.5 years had a house. I was 2 years, 1 year's like, then some like 3 months. Like it was a joke where like, Jared's relationship's like an avocado. It just they just turned ripe really quickly.
Like so there's a seed in the middle.
Yeah. But I'm still learning, and to end a relationship, like as soon as it starts getting to a point where it doesn't serve you, where you're not happy, then you need to start looking for it out. And before I've been in relationships and I wanted to get out of them, I just haven't. And it's just dragged on. You're just wasting each other's time.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not 50-50.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah, especially if it's not 50-50. Or even if like, this person, like I had a partner and she was a wonderful partner, like didn't have to like stress about her, didn't have to like, she did everything right and stuff, but we just were 2 different people. I was really young back then as well, but we were just 2 different people. She wanted to settle down and stuff. I was like, what, 24 though? I was like partying and stuff.
Yeah. I'm really happy with the camera right now.
Yeah.
It's been doing a good job,
battery?
right? I just plugged in the USB-C, so maybe it is the battery. Yeah. Just getting the last bit, eh?
So like...
I got to zoom in on that bit as well, right? hopefully the angle's just perfect. Yeah.
If they're not making you happy and you're not doing the right things to make them happy, then you need to end it. Like, you should be wanting to do things to make them happy. You should be wanting to, I remember I was like working 4-on-1s and I'd go away and I'll come back and I want to spend time with the boys. Yeah. So you shouldn't be in a relationship if you
that's
like
tough, especially when you're doing FIFO, right?
Yeah. But like, also I'd go out and spend time with the boys instead of spending time with this girlfriend who's, not going out partying while I'm away and stuff, like, doing all the right things. And then I come back and just gets thrown in the face. I'm just like, yeah, we're out with the boys. Yeah. So that's the example of like...
You're on a different wavelength.
Yeah, when you shouldn't be in a relationship. Another example is like, if you are working away and she's out partying and stuff, you see her like, wake up, like, you see her like, who's this man? Like, that's when you shouldn't be in a relationship, Yeah. So...
Yeah. Feel free to jump in here as well, Ryan, because I understand you probably have some game as well.
A little bit.
A little bit. All right.
Also, don't get a dog, man.
Don't get a dog. I've got a dog. Oh, don't get a dog when you're in a relationship with that person.
Yeah, I lost 4 dogs.
Every time he gets a dog, that's the end of the relationship. Literally, you're cursed.
Yeah, I'm like...
That's really emotionally like...
I'm like...
How many of them have you paid for though?
3. I didn't pay for the last one.
What dogs?
All the same dogs.
2 chow chows, 1 cavoodle, 1 poodle. I love poodles. Poodles cross breeds. I love them.
Yeah.
But like now, like the only way I'll get a dog...
Get a cat.
No. Only way I'll get a dog if I forget it myself, but it's hard when you work fly in, fly out. So like now I'm scared, man. Like there's like a dog curse. Like I'm just worried like I find this unicorn, I find this 10 out of 10. She's my soulmate.
Get a dog.
Wait, yeah, she's my soulmate, and I'm just like we just don't get a dog. And then like 8 years we're together, got a house together. We've got kids and stuff. I come home and she's like, oh, the kids come out and say, Daddy, we got it. Mum bought us a puppy. I'm just gonna be like, no.
Send.
This is not my life.
This is my life.
Yeah.
Mate. Oh, Nick Nat Nui, what's the story with This Is My Life? Did you just meet him or do you know him personally? Or what's the story there?
I met Nick Nat at a house party up in the Hills because he's from up in Midland.
Oh, yeah.
House party in the Hills before he was drafted to the Eagles. I met him and his brother. His brother's a G.
Oh, wow.
And then and we just got along because, like, his brothers at a party.
Brothers.
Yeah. And then I remember...
The only 2 brothers at the party.
And I remember he got drafted and I saw him out in the lady one day and I walked past and I was like, hey, Nick. And like, he just gave me a cold shoulder. I was like, he's a footy player. He's just going to, give me a cold shoulder. And then I saw him later that night. He's like, hey, Black Jared, man. He was like...
Oh, so he didn't recognise you?
Yeah. So like every time I'll be out and I see him, like, we just like, have a good time and stuff like that. And it's like, it's so good when you go out and you like see Nick Nat doing his thing. He's this big, tall, black guy. And I'm like, he's like talking to me and stuff and all these girls just look at me like, who's this guy, man?
that guy?
Yeah, he's been saying, who's this guy, man?
Elevates his
It's so
status.
good, it's good, but yeah.
They probably think you play for the Dockers or something.
NBL.
Like that. Yeah, I've seen that guy at the Avery. It's funny seeing that guy around town because like he probably keeps his own space, but people come up and take photos.
Yeah.
Interesting feeling.
But yeah, I can't with the. There's a period in my life where every time I'll be out and I'll be all like, be all drunk and everything. I'll be like, yeah, this is my life, and then everyone has jumped in on it. Like,
Oh man, something about the way of doing This Is My Life, adding it to your highlights.
Yeah.
And what's the other one that you do?
is that really necessary?
Is that really necessary? Oh my god! If anyone's watching this, please go over to Jack's Instagram, so JACKBLARRED, and view his highlights. Please leave them up there, Jack.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that is UGC. That's user-generated content.
I've got way more. I got way more.
That's getting
that
other
many
people
necessaries
involved.
that I need to upload. To be honest.
Yeah, because there's other people involved in that too, not just you.
Yeah.
So you just start your own trends.
Yeah,
like,
people send me videos of other cars and the lights doing that. Like, is that really necessary?
I look at that and I'm like, that's marketing dons, even if you may not be looking at it that way. Maybe
Got
even.
a good idea, but
Yeah.
keep that for.
I got it from.
Yeah.
The reason it started because because I'm on the roads, like I just when I'm driving, like I just see, look at everything, like that car's going that speed, this, and I see these gaps, and it just infuriates me.
Yep.
And I just finished the whole I just remember watching every single season of Seinfeld, and it just reminded me of something like George Costanza would say. Could just imagine him just be like freaking out and be like, "Is that really necessary?"
Oh, is that the kind of tall guy?
No. The bald guy with glasses.
Yeah,
He just freaks out and stuff, and then it just started from that.
Gotcha. Gosh, I want to share the last beer with all three of us.
No, you just carry on.
No, you're good. I'm just joking around. So we don't have any more beers, do we?
Did you bring any?
No, I didn't.
Nah, you're good.
I forgot.
All right. So yeah, I think that's. Is that really necessary? And especially the other one, which is.
This is my life, yeah.
my life.
But
Didn't you have another one as well?
I'm sure you did.
Pretty
I
sure.
don't know. I go through. Oh, Despacito.
You had
I don't know. I just go through phases and stuff. Back in then, I used to like. Now when I go out, I don't really post as much. But back then, I'll just post everything.
Come up with a new one, honestly.
And I used to get so smashed, and I was just like,
I get a lot of people from like over east and all that saying those like quotes and stuff as well.
yeah,
So-
all the
nice.
It's
time.
got a bit of a following.
Nice.
Yeah, I need to bring something back. I know I've got a whole list of content I need to do. Like, it's just about finding time. Like back in the day, I'd be at work, and in my head I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to do like an '80s action video, and I'll be at work the whole day, just having this idea in my head and just building this idea. Then I'll go home and shoot it. But now when I work, since being diagnosed, medicated for my ADHD, now I'm at work and I'm just thinking about work.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll reply to a few things, post a few. But it's always like thinking about work. So that's kind of why I haven't been posting as much videos and stuff. But with this time off now, I need to start planning and start scheduling more, and I want to bring back some content again.
Yeah, I think that would be good, especially because you have maybe half a year off. So you can
Yeah.
look at how like some of these media agencies do it. It's a bit cold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to turn it off or turn it up?
Maybe that's why the camera hasn't like messed.
maybe you've done it justice.
Like when you put it on a dyno, you got some fans.
Literally. Yeah. What's your dream car?
My GTO.
Yeah.
But nah, my dream car, like, you got these guys and like they have millions of dollars and stuff. They're buying supercars and stuff like that. But like my dream car, we got XA Falcon Coupe GT.
XA. Okay.
Yeah, they're just so tough. They've just got such big road presence. VSSS Commodore.
Nice.
Like growing up,
What year?
97,
97.
black, red stripe.
Are they the? Oh, I'm trying to think what they look like. They'd be more streamlined rather than boxy. Or boxy, is it?
In between boxy and streamline. Yeah, like
I have to Google that. I'll put it up on the screen if I have time.
yeah. But I just remember growing up when I was like 12. My mate's older brother had one, and I've always like loved them.
Yeah. Speaking of you said XAs.
Yeah, XAs.
There's a guy called XC Bluebird or something like that, and he commented on my story just saying, "What's your favorite car movie, and why is it obviously death proof?"
I don't even think I posted Death Proof before, but actually maybe
that?
I have. It's a movie by Quentin Tarantino, and it's got Kurt Russell was the main star, and he's just like a washed up stunt car driver.
Yeah.
And he builds his car, and then he's like death proof in the car, but his passenger isn't. So it's him in this car, and he picks up some girl at the bar.
Yep.
And he just loops it, goes crazy. And he just goes like, yeah. So he like slams on the brakes. This girl's got no seatbelt. There's no safety features. She's like, dang, knocks her out and stuff, and just pretty much just the way he drives just kills her because she's in this box and he's in this like protection box. It's filmed by Quentin Tarantino, and he's like, you know, he's a Don's.
Yeah.
And then later,
Oh wow.
yeah.
I'd have to check that out.
And then later,
definitely.
Have you not seen it?
No, I
Oh,
don't even
man.
know what that's about. So this guy knows something that you know, but that
yeah.
I don't know. So how did he detect that? By looking at your profile or by knowing you?
maybe that's his favorite movie. I'm not sure, but
Did he see something on your profile which gave that idea away?
no.
I'm gonna have to ask him.
That's a bit surprising. But I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. But also, Fast and Furious 1 and 2.
Yep.
I just love the just the one-liners. I love Tyrese, man. He's just like, I'll take my cutter back. Like,
What's 1 and
When you
2?
got Ludacris, Luke has got that massive afro.
yeah, it's number 2.
Yeah.
What's number 1 and 2? I just need to strike the setting and then I'll remember it.
What's 1 and 2? Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
So there's Fast and Furious 1 where
Stealing cars.
stealing.
Vin Diesel
No,
has his
there's
dad's
not
car, and it's that
Charger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
races,
where he's a cop, and he interface.
and he finds out Paul Walker's a cop, and then
that
he's
that
sitting at the
epic
thing
track.
and the train comes across.
Okay.
Or without the lights, and he's like, he's in Supra, and the guy's in a Ferrari, and he's
Orange
like,
Supra.
yeah, he's like, what's the retail one of those? He's like, Ferrari, more than you can afford. Like nowadays, it's like the opposite, man. Supras are like up here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's 2 of those replicas in Perth as well. If you guys ever need to connect, I can pass you their contacts. Number 2 was, I assume, when they have like the green and the purple car. Is that?
No, that's not.
Oh no, the green and purple Lancer.
That's still
It's got
number
a Lancer.
Oh, the Lancer.
Yeah.
number
Green and
2?
purple Lancer.
I don't know.
That's number 2.
Oh,
That's in Miami.
number one's a Super, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's in Miami. But it's just the one line is like.
Yep.
There's one when he's like,
He's corny.
yeah. There's one when he's like at the police station with Tyrese, and then Tyrese like the sergeant said something like that, and then Tyrese asked like Paul Walker like, "What do you mean back then?" He's just like, "Forget about a cur."
Yeah, Paul Walker was actually pretty dope for who
He was.
I don't know why it strikes me off. Maybe it's just an American vibe. There's something about that guy.
Yeah, but that series now is just gone.
Yeah. Now it's just too much.
Especially now with The
Space.
Rock gone in.
Oh, I don't watch anything.
It's not even
Rock's in
about
there.
cars anymore.
No.
Yeah.
commercialised.
Yeah. Well, at least like back then,
It's
it
an action.
was just
movie
about the
now.
cars, and not everything was on point. Like there was just like, well, your manifolds like blowing up for like just doing nothing.
Yeah.
But like
That's
it was
the
just
thing.
about cars.
That's the
Now-
thing
now-
about America. I feel like even with Hot Wheels, like they stopped making like actual cars and they started making like all these cars which aren't even real, just like putting ice creams on top and stuff like that.
Yeah.
it's weird.
But then again,
It's
like,
like that. What was that? Exhibit show.
Pit My Ride.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just like just things
It's
on
like,
top.
you like movies? Let's put a popcorn machine in your car.
Yeah.
I think the equivalent
Swing.
of Pimp My Ride is Beyond Custom in Perth. Those guys are working with the Lee collection.
Oh,
Supercars.
man.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Crazy, man.
Like, I just love how he just keeps buying cars. Just keeps buying cars.
guy,
Like, the thing is, if I had that money, I'd be like buying like VL Walkinshaws and stuff, man. Like, huh?
Buy cryptos.
No, just like in terms of cars, I would want to buy like a massive garage and have every single model of Commodore in there. I'm like the whitest black guy there is.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
That's Bogan Black Card areas. Yeah.
Like the number plate NWA.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. I got this really gangsterish vibe from you when I met you at the Troy Candy Meet. I was like, Jesus, am I messing with bikies or am I getting into like some really dangerous stuff? Then I look at your Instagram and I'm like, this guy has a sense of humor.
Yeah, I remember I was like, I was out of Listen Out a few years ago.
Yeah.
And these people taking photos of me. I had these chains and stuff, and people taking photos of me. I'm like, oh yeah, you're an ASAP. You're an ASAP. I'm like, yeah. And then like I went to like the after party, and I was like, it was like ASAP Ferg there, and I was like right behind him.
Yeah.
And then some guy like later sees me. He's like, man, I thought you were a killer, man, but you're just a funny guy.
There's another guy you did that for as well. I think I looked at one of your posts. I can't remember who it is, but I thought that was, I just.
What,
cracked up.
rudimental? Oh man,
Rudimental, was it?
I just went to go to the toilet. I was like, they played a Villa, and I just went to go to the toilet. And I just walk out the toilet. These girls come up to me, like, oh, can we get a photo with you? I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. It's like, yeah, you're rudimental. Hey, I love your show. It was the best. I I was just like, yeah. It's like,
What's your number?
What do you think about Perth? I'm like, oh, I wouldn't. It's a lovely place. I wouldn't stay here, but I really love the vibe here. And then like they took a photo and posted it. I've had other like places.
They posted it on Facebook,
Yeah,
right?
posted on Facebook. Yeah, they thought it was rudimental. And then there's
Oh
other
my
people
God.
that posted me thinking I'm an ace. I'm like, that's just Jerry, man. And then like, there's a few times I've gone to like festivals and stuff, and people ask for photos thinking like I'm someone else.
Yeah.
The camera's died again.
Yeah.
I was out one night, and we were out in the same place, just having a party and stuff. And I remember seeing him on like Instagram, and you know, he would have like he was over in like Melbourne driving Ferrari, flexing stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, man, look at this guy, man. Look, he's a driver Ferrari. He's renting that, man. And then like, I was being negative on him and stuff. And then like, I saw it was like, I think it was after I came back from Gold Coast around Troy and stuff like that. And I see all the stuff they're doing and how they envision stuff and then make it happen. And I came back and then he see him pop up again. I was like, you know what? Like, he's young and he's out there doing something with his life. Most people his age aren't doing that. Like, they're just doing the usual thing, going out and party stuff. Yeah, he'll go out and party stuff, but he has a vision and he goes towards it. And I remember I met him for the first time. I told him this. I was like, man, when I saw I was like, look at this guy. But like, I love how you're actually doing something. How, like you hire a Ferrari because you do that, and then you're like, fuck, I want a Ferrari.
Manifest.
Yeah, manifests it. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't drive in one, you're not going to want it as bad as not driving one. So,
Do you believe in that stuff?
I do. I definitely.
I believe in it, but in a certain, like, not as strong as like people up there like gratitude, manifestation and stuff like that. I mean, with my GDO, I posted a photo of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get one of these one day. And then like I got it. So it kind of does work.
Nice.
Yeah, but like,
But then like I still don't have a quad bike I fucking manifested when I was like a kid,
I just want to like, you get like, if you look at say Tupac, Biggie, and all that, they all talked about death and they named their albums about death, and they all died at a young age, right? So they were manifesting what they were talking about. You know?
Yeah.
So I think the energy that you put out, that you say, it's going to come back to you at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you think about positive stuff all the time, your life's going to turn up positive.
Yeah. And
Whereas if you talk about bad stuff's going to come to you.
yeah, that's all you're going to think about. And it's going to just come to you. Like, with the whole energy stuff like that, I've read a few books and stuff, and it's just about, your mindset. Like, the mind is powerful.
Yeah.
100%.
And if you're thinking about those things, your brain starts working your way how to make those things happen.
Problem solve. Yeah.
But if you keep thinking about excuses, then your brain's going to keep feeding you like problems and stuff like that. So that's in terms of manifesting, that's a good thing, and that's how it works. But also, there's people out there like, oh yeah, manifesting, and then don't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So they're just dreaming.
I agree.
So
Dreaming and doing, right?
that's it. So yes, you got to manifest, but at the same time, you got to be putting in the steps. You got to put in the plans, and then start taking the actions.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words.
That's it. There's not a point of just like manifesting and then not doing anything.
Yeah,
like
it's not like, oh, I want a Lambo, and then you don't have a vision of how am I going to get that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You
That's
got to
it.
say, oh, well, I'm going to start this. I'm gonna
Fill
do
in the
this.
gaps.
You know what I mean?
I once mentioned it. I was trying to explain the whole idea of manifesting to someone who really didn't grasp anything.
Yeah.
About it, and I was just like, essentially, it's like spiritual goal setting.
yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, my dad's always told me growing up, like, yeah, you got to have a goal, you got to have a goal. And it's true, like, if you don't have a goal, you're just going to just plod along, not do anything, Like, especially like working away. All these guys working away up north and stuff, and then they come back and they just fucking just blow the money at the pub, blow the money at the casino, don't have any goals. So they don't have anything else they want to put their money
Strive
towards.
yeah.
So you always got to have something to strive towards.
That's why a lot of people have vision boards as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I believe in those
If
things.
you see
So if-
something every day, you're going to like, all right, even if it's on your fridge,
Yeah.
you always go into your fridge, all right, yeah, I want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like a lot of my successful friends are the ones who have vision boards and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
always, I got it on my list. I've got it on my list to make a vision board. I've got to actually commit and do it. Now I've got these 3 weeks off. I'm going to make a vision board. I
Nice.
even got like a cork board. I need to do it.
You got to put it like your own humor on it. Like
Like
just like something outrageous. Just post it on the story. Just
Hugh Hefner, 3 bitches.
something like that, right? Yeah.
One of the things I put in here was like, how does your brain work? I think we can kind of see it just like
It
listening
doesn't.
to you.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work.
It's like Jesus. Was it AD BC? Like,
80
it was like before ADHD, and then after. So before, with work, I've always worked and gone to work and just looked at it as like, oh yeah, it's just pastime, make money. Didn't really take my job seriously. I'd be on my phone all day, every day. Like, I mean, I kept getting jobs and kept getting good work because I was a good person. Like, I wouldn't dog anyone. I was always like, you know. And then people were like, oh, do you want a job here? It wasn't because I was a hard worker. Yep. I was hard work in a sense where I'd go work away for 4 weeks at a time.
Yep. But were you good at your craft?
No. I'll get into that. Like, it was just like, sparky. Like, I didn't really love it, nothing. And I was always distracted and stuff like that, always unorganised. But then I got diagnosed ADHD in 2020.
Yep.
And
how did you go searching for it, or what happened?
To be completely honest, I want to get Dexies.
Yep, chasing the bender.
Yeah,
fair.
I want to get Dexies. But then I did a thing online and I was just like, shit, I think I've got this.
Yeah.
And I had really bad daytime tiredness. Like, I'll be at work and I'll go in my car and just go to sleep. I had really bad daytime tiredness.
Yeah.
And I thought it was because I was always like partying and stuff, had like big weekends. And then like COVID happened and I wasn't out partying and stuff, I'll still be tired. So I got tested for like sleep apnea as well. And I didn't have that. So then I did the ADHD test and then the doctor's like, when I thought about people with ADHD, I thought about like, spazzes is running around like, let's just doing dumb shit.
Screaming.
But like, mine was, just not having that focus, not having motivation, always tired. And the doctor says you're always tired because your brain's always going. Like, so ever since I've been medicated for that, it's changed like completely in terms of work. Like now I'm about to start a job with like one of the biggest mining companies. Like I never thought I'd get to that point where.
Should we name drop or?
No, I don't want to name drop.
Yeah.
But, like,
So-
I never.
So like, does it, like the Dexies, does that like slow you down?
No,
Like,
no,
how does
no,
it
no,
actually
'cause
work? As obviously it's not
it
ADHD.
works for me where before I'll be at work and I'll come to like a struggle and then I'll be like, oh, okay, and I'll just be on my phone, I'll just go whatever. But now I see a struggle, I look at it as a challenge, like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
And then also like I was always like forgetting tools, was like forgetting materials and stuff. I wasn't just like focused.
Head's not in the right place.
My head was never in the right place. I was never thinking about work.
Yeah.
Like come Friday, I was knackered, I was tired, and I'm just like, oh, like, I'll be reading plans and like falling asleep. So it's just like I just didn't have that attention. I wasn't reaching my full potential.
Yeah.
But now, like, I look forward to like going to work when it's a good crew. I've been to jobs where I worked away up north and I've been like miserable and like because the people I'm working with aren't just like fun and whatever.
Yeah.
But when you got a good crew, that's like the biggest thing. Like you could be doing the worst jobs, but if you've got a good crew, you got banter, and you got good supervisors.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got a good supervisor, you're gonna be in there, you're gonna be busting your ass.
Yeah.
But like now, I just love buying tools. Before I didn't care about tools. I'd rather spend money on other rubbish. But now I just love buying tools. And then I'll be on site and like, I'm not like the best electrician, but I'll be good because I got all the tools that I need.
Yeah.
People are like, Joe, can you do this? Because I've got the tool for it and stuff. So like, you got to take like pride in your tools.
Yeah.
And like before I'd be at work and I was never happy with myself. I was just like, knew I didn't put in a good work. Every time I got called up to the office, I'd be like, oh no.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that type of work?
Been a sparky. I finished my apprenticeship 2014, and I've been doing fly in, fly out on and off for about 8-9 years.
Nice. Yep.
And I've always like just didn't feel like I was like reaching my full potential. And every time I went to the office, I'd be scared and stuff. But now I go to the office, it's like I'm there with the paperwork, handing stuff in and all that. Like
I went how to get it done.
Yeah, well, I finished up with one company last year, and then they did round of applause, and like at the end of the day meeting, I was just like, I've never had that done before, man. I was just there, just like,
They'll probably thinking, yeah, she's finally gone.
but like, I've never had it happen before, but it's like a good feeling, and then so. It's something that's like lately, I've just been working on like, just bettering myself with like my ADHD, Even something like just small thing like my health, like even like all my life I've been walking like my feet like this.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Walking like a spaz.
I actually noticed that.
Yeah. Like walking like this.
You're in the club and you two-step.
People give me shit all the time, but like now I'm like, you know what? I need to get some orthotics and fix that.
Yeah, yeah.
I got orthotics.
Yeah. Just simple things and like
Flexibility.
yeah.
Yeah, no. A lot of people take flexibility as maybe like a feminine angle, but especially because I do Muay Thai, I realize flexibility is like paramount to me not having an injury.
Yeah.
It also helps me kick people in the head.
Yeah.
Also, like bending my toes, like I'd bend my knuckles.
Yeah.
Do the same thing with my toes.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
No. It's like
it helps.
Yeah, like stretching and stuff like that. Like
100%.
I don't do that, but I'm like. It's on my list of things I want to do. I'm slowly getting better and better.
Honestly, yeah. You got a bird, right? She's probably into that stuff.
No, I'm single now.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear.
That's all right.
But hey, maybe that can be the type of marketplace you're looking for, right?
Yeah. But
you'll see Jared doing Pilates and stuff.
Hey, not a bad angle.
call me.
Like, that's the best film clip
Oh
ever.
man, it's the best.
Oh yeah.
But even like I booked in on next week to get a mental health plan.
Yep.
And with my job, being away, being alone so often, being in multiple relationships, being in all these things, having like traumas and stuff, I'm so lucky I don't have a depression. I'm so lucky I don't have anxiety. But I want to see a psychologist just as another way of bettering myself. And
I think that's good.
yeah, I think it's good too. Like, just talk my life, and then if there's things that are wrong with me, then I can find a way to fix them.
He's going to come out with a big list and go,
You got this.
Some people have talked about CBT with me personally because I have some issues.
Was that cognitive?
Behavioral therapy. I think you just talk your things through with someone who's actually trained and accredited.
Yeah.
One of the people I know, she was actually at the Troy Candy meet. She has something called Project 305, which is like a mental health car.
I think I've seen that.
Car
Yeah.
event. Yeah, so you should definitely reach out to her.
I actually want to do some kind of like charity thing.
Yeah,
Where-
like giving back in some way.
Like, I've always wanted to do Uber for a night from like the hours of 6 p.m., 6 a.m.
I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah, in the GDO,
Oh yeah.
and
She could.
people wouldn't take you serious.
You get banned.
Not in the
straight away.
GDO. Because I know you.
No,
you'd end up doing
no.
burnouts and stuff.
Just
No.
get the Hyundai registered
No.
and then use the GTO for
no,
one night.
not with Uber. I'll do it. I'll like tell people about it on my Instagram and this is a day. If you want to lift from some here to here,
Yeah.
all you got to do is pay like the Uber fee, what it would be.
Yeah.
And I'll keep all that money. No, won't keep all that money. The only part I'll keep of it would be fuel, and the rest will go to some charity of some sort. And that goes from like hours of 6 to 6. So, but also, not just like, oh yeah, I want to get an Uber and like go for this.
Yeah.
Like also, so like some guys out there who might be going through something, they can go on an Uber ride, just go for a drive,
That's
just talk
something I'm
things
trying to
out.
do, man. Yeah.
Just like they might like just want to go for a drive and have some issues, and I'm like, yeah, bro, do this. Like,
I might be able to give you some context in regards to that. I know something that's big is when kids have their year 12 bowl.
yeah,
And they're like, I don't have a date to bring. At least wish I had a convoy of mates.
man, I'd love to do something like that. Like, I remember growing up.
Especially Holden. Good Australian
Yeah,
car guys.
Yeah, but you can only fit one person in your car, can't you? Well, the backseat.
That's okay.
I could fit 3.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Force it.
yeah, 4-seater. But like, I'm worried about kids these days. Like, I'm worried about I'm gonna have a kid. I'm gonna have a son. I'm like, here, son, he's a GDO, bro. Like, I'll pass it down to you. I don't want that. I want a Tesla. Like, kids these days, they just want like Teslas and stuff. Like, they're like, oh, it's petrol. Like,
Yeah.
I'm worried about that. But yeah, like year 12 bowls. Like, I remember when I was growing up, and I went to my year 11 dance in an old highest custom with these big sound systems, and we were like, it's so sick. Like,
Yeah.
I'd love to just drop guys off to like their bowl and stuff. Like,
Yeah. What's the story with the van? I was going to ask.
oh,
White van. I don't want to.
so I had
you.
so
Bang bus.
There are car clubs around that stuff. They pimp them out.
oh yeah. I remember back when I used to be Perth highest, but back when I was younger,
Yeah.
around like 22, I hang out with these guys who were into the motocross, and like they all had vans and stuff. So it started off, I just wanted a cheap daily, and I ended up buying an old school highest van,
Were you working at the time? Did it help your trade at all?
No, it wasn't even about trade. It was
No?
just had like leopard print roof.
Oh yeah.
Had like blue fur walls.
Make a bed out of it.
No, I didn't. But had that, and then like had my sound system. I just loved it, man.
Nice.
Like especially key bangers.
Key bangers.
So what you do?
You not seen the videos?
No.
What you do? So you got
tell me
you
more.
got you got so you got a carby motor.
Yeah.
So you drive and you got put in like third, so it's revving. Turn the car off. Pump the gas, so it puts fuel into like exhaust. Turn the car back on.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's the best fun. It's so loud, just backfires. So like I'll be in a tunnel, like, then I'm just drive past it. It was like,
You got to see the videos.
oh man,
Yeah.
kids at bus stops.
Wow. They don't do that these days, do they? Or
No, it's the old carby motors.
they still exist. They're not fuel injection, right? They're what's carbureted. It's like just
Yeah.
fuel flows in somehow.
I don't know the mechanical stuff, but I just know it's loud.
Yeah.
And like someone, you'll be on the freeway, someone will be right up the ass.
You witnessed that as well?
Yeah, I've seen the videos. I
First,
Yeah.
think I
Can have
was
a look.
friends with Jared at
So
the time.
yeah,
and-
it's so loud. It's the best fun. It's just like,
And then you hopped into you wanted a Hilux, right? Or something like that.
oh, so I sold that,
It's
and
like
then
a
yeah,
retro looking Hilux.
oh, the old school Hiluxes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love them. I've
They're quite boss, like
Yeah,
you can pimp them out,
like-
but you kept it quite clean. Or?
yeah, growing up, just
Is that the navy blue one you had?
yeah.
And it was big off road. Oh, that was sick.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just
Like a
love
street car even.
the space cab. I had a space cab mini truck at one point,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've always wanted a big black space cab Lux with a chrome front end.
Yeah, those
But
are
they're
really
getting
nice.
they're getting rarer and rarer these days.
Yeah.
So I just need to snap one up and then just build it. I wish I didn't sell the one I had, but I blew the motor in it. I bought it 400,000 Ks on it, knowing that it was going to blow eventually. And then when it blew, I was like, oh, I don't have the money for it now, so just
Yeah.
got rid of it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, those look pretty cool. They kind of look like the new Land Cruisers, you know, like the boxy ones.
300s.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like the really
no.
expensive one. People go to
The
FIFO, they
79
buy those.
series. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I love older cars.
Yeah.
Like the
What
Beamer.
about you?
The Beamer was nice, but
Me?
yeah,
Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
As
it's got a bit
in,
more class to me.
yeah, I'm more
Topic
of a,
cars.
as in like my favorite car that I'd want in the future. Probably
Yeah.
more of like a G-Wagon sort of type.
Oh,
car.
nice.
Yeah.
That's a pretty boss, yeah. What about like a
Manifest.
manifest? Gotta have that. That could be a highlight.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like say something. Something I was thinking about was obviously a G-Wagon would be maybe your dream, but is there like a certain car that's your style? Or manifest and
I've
maybe
like
it's real?
grown to more of like 4-wheel drives. Obviously now, obviously
European.
I
You
have
had a BMW.
yeah, I used to have a BMW. It was just a 3 Series. Wasn't
Pretty
too
cool.
bad. Yeah, but then
Wasn't your Rex pretty quick?
I used to have a WRX.
Nice.
It was like a 98.
Yeah.
And it was like not before the bug eye.
Mm-hmm.
So and that was pretty quick, but I crashed that twice. So,
Oh really?
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, better sell it because third time I might not be so lucky. So,
Yeah.
We got 10 minutes actually. I just realised I looked at the clock.
So
That's going by fast.
yeah, but as in for cars, like I have a company car at the moment, so
Yeah.
that's why I sold my Beamer. So I just I'm not really into, like Jared was tapping in earlier on, like no point having loans and stuff and things that you don't need. So that's why I got rid of my car. I don't
You're
don't need
operating
it.
credit, not cash. I mean, other way around.
Yeah. So now it's just chill. Really, don't really have to have expensive things just for the Instagram. You know what I mean? Just
You guys know Mr. Bean at all?
Yeah. Yeah, I love this.
oh, Mr. Bean. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
He had a
he-
McLaren F1.
Yeah, crashed that twice, eh?
Yeah, I just read an article today.
That's so cool, man.
And then he sold it for 12 million, so he made like $10 million come up
Yeah.
just because it was a supercar.
I love seeing guys like Mr. Bean who are into cars.
It's weird.
I love
isn't
seeing
Yeah.
people into cars. Like,
Yeah.
like,
What's his real name?
Rowan
Rowan
Atkinson.
Ron Atkinson.
That's
Yeah,
it,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
like,
You can watch his shows, and he doesn't say anything, and it's the best.
that's a hell good show to have. Like,
Yeah.
put on when the
Yeah.
girl comes over. Like,
At 4 in the morning.
yeah. But like, I love when you get famous people and they're into like certain cars and stuff. Like, one of my favorite things I found out like this year, like 50 Cent's first car, like in the movie Get Rich or Die Trying, he buys that Mercedes, but his first car was actually an 80 series Land Cruiser.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Like, you don't think like gangsters in the hood driving 80 series Land Cruisers.
And then, you know when they do their drive-bys?
Yeah, but they were actual thing back then. And then the reason he got rid of the Land Cruiser was because there was another gangster that had the same colour Land Cruiser. So it's like, screw this, I'm gonna get a Merc.
Yeah. So 79 series, is that like the next generation?
Nah, the 79 series are those more boxy ones. For like you
Is
spend like
it based on a year or is it a type of model?
it's type of model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I must
yeah.
look into that.
Like the 79 series, like you're paying like $100,000 and they still got wind up windows.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Nice. Oh, I'd love to talk to you about more things. I've got quite a few other things on the list, but I think what we'll do is we'll wrap it up here, and maybe we can have a part 2 in the future when we have a better camera.
Yeah, sounds
and things
good.
like that. Is there anything that you'd like to plug? Maybe Instagram for starts for the last time. Any other things that you have upcoming?
I actually don't. I actually got nothing to plug. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, you guys can follow me on Instagram if you want, but like,
I'd recommend it for some people.
I'm just here to have a good time and
Yeah, that's what we
make
like.
people laugh.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I also got to go to the bathroom, so that's part of the reason why I'm rapping.
Oh man,
So-
like yeah.
I don't know. Something about this has gone right back to my bladder. But how much time do we have? We've got 7 minutes. I can hold it. Oh yeah, just growing up in Australia. I'm sure you can jump in as well. Obviously not the true blue white skin Australians. How did you find the school environment coming up in Australia? Concepts like segregation, assimilation, things like that. You find it pretty easy to gel in, or have you been in Australia all your life?
Yeah, I was bored here.
Yep. Always blended in.
Wouldn't say blended in. Like, I haven't had any hectic like racist experiences, but growing up, it was always like racism. Always like, you know,
Yeah.
people like, oh, you're black. I'm like, oh,
There's nothing we can do about it.
yeah. Like,
It is what it
It's
is.
just like this stupid. Like, oh, because you're black. Oh, you're black. Lights go off. Oh, where's Jared? Smile. Like I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
And then I think it started like getting like cool back in like year 10, because I used to always hang out with the black group, and then the black group started hanging out with the white girls,
I see.
and then all the other guys were just like, oh, what are you gonna do now? Like,
Listen to their playlist. It's all
yeah. Like, but like back in the day, I'll be listening to like Wu-Tang and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then other kids would be listening to like Blink-182 and stuff. Like, I still love Blink-182.
Yeah.
Like, but like, yeah, people who were like, I'll be listening to all that black stuff, and now that stuff's all like cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, it's hard to explain. Like,
Yeah.
like now, even nowadays, like I go into shops now, and I don't keep my hands in my pockets because there's still that thing in me where like, oh, he's black, he's gonna take something.
I know what you mean.
I mean, like,
It's something that like people don't understand besides like what we feel. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's very hard to even tell someone like how we feel. Like, because
I guess the way I can relate is just, I guess if I wear a hoodie or if I come across as a bit sketchy to
Yeah.
some like shop
Yeah.
owners, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't understand.
but like,
but it's also like, I mean, you might get some guy that's fully covered in tattoos, white guy. You know what I mean? Which is probably the nicest bloke ever.
Yeah.
But as soon as you walk into a room or something, people are gonna think, oh, he's dodgy or he's a drug dealer or something like that. You know what I mean? So he'll feel the same vibe that we would feel. You know what I mean? So
like I go out my way to be like polite when I'm out because people see me and you see like tattoos, he's black,
Yeah, I noticed that. Well,
and then I was like, thank you.
yeah. No, I noticed the first
excuse
time I
me.
met you.
Thank
quite
you. Come
polite.
again.
Yeah. Well, I reckon it's a good idea that we leave it on that. There can always be a part 2, and Ryan, you're always welcome. You too, Jack.
Yeah, if anyone wants any more questions or whatever, just
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure we'll get some good feedback about this video. I'm planning on making some into reels as well, so we'll capture the highlights. We'll put the good highlights in.
Yeah.
Let's leave it on that. I'd love to have you guys back on the show.
I'd
Maybe
love to
further
come
down
back.
the line. I'd love to.
Maybe I'll bring a few more beers.
Yeah, bring a few more beers. Yeah, we'll definitely do that, and we'll have some really good chats. So
Yeah, cool.
100%.
awesome. We'll say bye to the viewers, guys.
See you guys.
Awesome.
Hope you enjoyed.
Thanks lots.